This segment of Healthy Living is brought to you by Radisson Fort George Hotel and Marina. Yes, I can.
Belize is blessed with a beautiful coastline and multiple rivers that we enjoy on holidays and extended weekends. While the sea, rivers, and even pools can be fun, they can also be deadly. There are some basic water safety tips that parents should consider.
Never go alone. It is very critical that you have somebody at your side if an emergency may happen. Being that you're going to have children around, there should always be adult supervision. For instance, if a child is swimming with an object, more than likely that object will float away. And what if that object floats away to the deeper end and there's no supervision? The child will obviously go for that object. So it is very, very critical that adults are around whenever kids are in the water.
Giovanni Collins is a senior lifeguard with 14 years experience. She's also the pool coordinator at the YWCA. Some of the common pool safety tips are clearly displayed and fairly obvious rules for safety. The no jumping rule, though, applies to both pools and open water.
We always advise persons to enter feet first into any water that is unknown to you. Reason being that some visuals may seem close. You may be standing here and you said, oh, I could see the bottom. Just as what we're seeing here in the pool, I could see the bottom. But in actuality, that water depth might be over 20 feet. And you may underestimate yourself. The bed of the rivers may sometimes accumulate rocks and logs that are submerged. And if you're not careful enough and you enter head first, you could cause yourself a very, very bad collision and end up unconscious. And that is how accidents happen. So we advise everybody, in any water you're not familiar with, put your foot in first.
One of the greatest hazards in open water is the currents in both the river and sea.
We have surface current and we have depth currents. And in Belize, we cannot distinguish them just by looking at it. So if at any instance you're swimming, having a nice day in the river, and the weather changes, the current actually changes with weather and the wind. And all of that natural stuff is normally the depth current that will pull you away. You have the surface current that may be strong enough to sweep you away as well. If you find yourself in an instance whereby you feel as if though you cannot maneuver yourself away from the situation, maneuver yourself to turn yourself on your backs at all times. So if you're caught in a current, the first thing you need to bear in mind is to roll over on your back. Normally currents run, right? And they run downstream. So you will be finding yourself moving away from wherever you are, and you have to maintain yourself on the back. The current will come to a stop. I urge you, if you are caught in a current, do not panic. Panic leads to other complications. Remain calm, stay on your back, maintain yourself to just laying low and making sure that if you get a break to grab onto a branch or something, do so. Or if not, just allow the river to take you.
Do not attempt to swim against the current. Let it take you feet first downstream. For those who are supervising, watch for anything that seems unusual. Not all emergencies are obvious, as senior lifeguard Andrea Godoy explains.
You have three types of drowning. You have active drowning, you have submerged, you have passive. Right? With the active drowning victim, you usually see the arms in a up and down motion, moving up and down to try to keep the head out of the water. Right? Sometimes we see the body is vertical in the water. And then the submerged victim is a victim usually be under the water, whereby maybe someone jumped in the pool and hit the victim, that it went under the water and submerged. Then you have the passive drowning victim. Again, maybe the victim run and slip. And when he slipped, he dropped in at the edge of the pool, hit the head, and went into the pool. So he float up in a position, vertical position. Okay, I look for the movement, like especially active. Again, the movement, how the hand move. I have some victims that can swim or maybe catch a cramp, so they are still in a slow motion, right? But they're still a victim of drowning.
If we see somebody who seems to be drowning, what do we do? What's the basic assist?
It's a active drowning. The basic assist is a reaching assist, whereby you have an object and you reach out to save the person, right? Whereby you don't stand up and to save the person, you want to go on your knee or on your stomach and you reach out
With an object.
with the object.
Why can't you jump in and save them?
Because the person is active, if you go face first with the person, maybe you can grab her on you.
The YWCA offers free swimming classes for children and water safety presentations upon request. You can also train to become a certified lifeguard or choose to hire one through the YWCA.
They are paid persons who are willing to be at your service if you need them. Us here at the YWCA, we rent out our lifeguards, and it's at a small fee. It's not anything that will break your pockets. But at the same time, we come with our equipment and we come with the knowledge that you will be needing if an emergency may occur.
This segment of Healthy Living was brought to you by Radisson Fort George Hotel and Marina.